1 year of stinkers, ups and downs, high points and lows. Tonight, we recount each of our top 10 favorite bad movies that we watched since we started this podcast in March 2014. This is our year in review, part 1 of 2, and be sure to listen to part 2 when we recount our favorite good movies of 2014.
Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. This is our year in review episode. How are you out there in podcast land?
Who the hell are you talking to?
Yeah, really, dude.
Are you
Obviously,
asking?
me and Sam are here.
Yeah, we're here. Are you
I was
asking?
mostly asking you guys, but I forgot that I to mention who you are.
Yeah, well,
How are you people in this room?
I'm fine. How are the people we're asking fucking rhetorical questions to? The listeners who can't answer back, hopefully, or they're not trying. There's somebody in their house right now who'll be like, I'm okay. I'm good. And then their wife's like, Steve, they can't hear you.
Well, yeah, exactly. That is the voice of Sam. I also have Jackie here. How are you, Jackie?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
Had a colonoscopy this week.
Ugh, that's icky.
Yeah.
Let's avoid that topic.
What? That
least-
goes along with stinkers.
So, speaking of people in podcast land, you don't have to look at the pictures of the inside of Jackie's butt like everybody else had to.
Hey, man, those were some interesting scientific pictures.
Yeah, science.
She was quite proud of the inside of her guts.
They were awesome looking.
Yeah. So here's how we're going to do this. We have each compiled our lists of our top 10 favorite good movies that we witnessed, or bad movies, good bad movies that we witnessed in 2014. They do not have to be episode or movies that we did episodes on or witnessed for stinky streaming do's and don'ts or even watched them together. They are just each of our favorite top 10 bad movies that we recommend that anybody listening to this podcast should stop what they're doing and go watch right now.
Yes.
So start us off there, Jesto.
So how we're going to order this is just in the same order that we pick movies for the podcast. I will go first, then Sam, then Jackie. So Jackie will close us out with her number 1, but I will start with my number 10 movie, which was Teen Witch.
Ooh.
The movie that Jackie brought to the table that I don't think you and I had even heard of.
I'd never even heard of it.
The Teen Wolf knockoff.
Hey, that's on my list too, but a little higher.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
So
It did
what
not make
made
my
it?
list.
So what made it part of your list?
I enjoyed how cheesy it was, and just like even in when was that movie? 1986, 87, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Even at that point, if I had gone to the theater, like if I had been an adult man and been roped into going to see Teen Witch, because I'm assuming, let's say, my wife, named Jackie, would have been like, ooh, I want to go see that. That looks great. I love witches and I love teens and it's going to be romantic and all this. And I would have been like, ugh, God, this is going to blow. If I had seen that in 1987, I would have been like, this is fucking retarded.
It's ridiculous.
Like all of the 80s elements, the top that and, the singing and dancing and how crappy the music was.
I like boys.
Yeah, the most
The
popular
new
girl.
cheer is I like boys.
Yeah.
That's not even a fucking cheer.
The music is a strong point for me for sure, but I also think that like I would have been in the theater going, wait a minute, is this movie about statutory rape?
It is about statutory rape.
I would have
and
lost my
it's
shit.
okay.
I would have busted up laughing in the middle of the theater and everybody would have turned around and been like, what's with that guy?
Yeah. And then there would be another guy in the theater that gets up in the middle of the movie because he realizes it's okay and he goes and he buys a Camaro and he parks it outside of a junior high.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
he just waits.
Yes. Stucker.
He's got a 6-pack of Keystone.
Yeah.
That's
it would have been Schlitz then.
Oh yeah,
Schlitz.
Schlitz.
Or Boone's Farm.
Yep.
Maybe a little
Fancy.
Mad Dog 2020. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that I did not see it coming. I thought that it was going to be a miserable experience.
It was a good time for sure.
It was a good time. I enjoyed it. I would even say that I think for me, it's the one movie that is geared specifically towards teen girls, because I really hate teenage girls. Like, I can't stand them.
Yeah, Girls Just Want to Have Fun was geared that same way.
Exactly, and I enjoyed Girls Just Want to Have Fun. In the same vein, I just didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Teen Witch.
Oh,
Because
no.
Teen Witch was just a terrible, terrible movie
Oh yes.
that
Magic.
was a bad idea.
It didn't
And
make any fucking sense.
Didn't make any fucking sense. And
But it had some sweet jams that totally got stuck in your head.
that were terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
For a week, I like boys. For a week, you couldn't get it out of your fucking head.
Yeah, so there you go. My number 10 is Teen Witch.
What about you, Sam? Where are you at for number 10?
Number 10? My number 10 is one that you guys didn't see. Young Warriors is my number 10.
Ooh, the Young Warriors.
And not The Young Warriors, because The Young Warriors is a different movie. It's just Young Warriors.
Oh, there's two of them.
There's
'Cause
two
I
of them.
have in what I'll just introduce the world to my Stinkernomicon,
Mm-hmm.
the binder of 150 movies that I've put together. And one of them I haven't seen is The Young Warriors. So what's the difference between the two?
I don't really know what The Young Warriors is. I know that it wasn't The Young Warriors like in the 70s.
Uh-huh.
And Young Warriors is made in the like cusp of 80, 90
Oh,
in there.
Okay.
And Young Warriors is, I believe, a fraternity that decides to become vigilantes.
Oh God, you're
And
kidding.
They don't do a good job. Like, first time out, they lose a guy. They have a dog. They turn the dog into a crime-fighting dog. He gets shot. They do the dog in the movie.
Uh-huh.
And, like, he has, like, sunglasses and, like, a Budweiser hat.
Oh,
and
so
you're
he's
like,
super cool too.
he's fucking rad, and then he gets shot.
That sucks.
It sucks. But they're basically the worst vigilantes ever.
So they had a Spud McKenzie.
Yeah, I think that
They get
Spud McKenzie might have been the inspiration for the dog, and why it makes number 10 is because at the end of the movie you wonder what were they trying to do here, because the story that they tell is adequately told, but it's the story of a bunch of dickheads that don't do a good job.
So it's not an accident that they're portrayed like inept idiots. It's the intent.
They're not good at it.
The intent of the film is these guys are nutsacks.
It's almost like it's a warning, the tragedy that could befall you if this situation works out and you turn into vigilantes. No, these idiots decided to become, no one else would make this decision. It did work out poorly because this is how it would work out, but it plays itself off like a cautionary tale. Like, don't turn into vigilantes if this happens to you, because you'll befall this terror and your life will be, sucky. Like, well, no shit.
Yeah, they killed Spud McKenzie dog.
And you're frat nutsacks.
You're nutsacks to begin with.
You haven't even frat guys. Ugh.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Animal House and Batman.
Huh.
But then not the good parts of either Animal House and Batman. It was fucking ridiculous.
Well, that sounds pretty rad. Is it something that we may want to end up doing an episode on later?
We will be doing it. It will be coming this year.
Excellent.
Young Warriors will be an episode. I don't even know how long it's going to be before I throw down on Young Warriors, because my next pick is obviously going to be Megaforce,
Mm-hmm.
and then it might be after that.
I will. My nipples are hard.
Okay.
I'm excited. Jackie, what's your number 10?
The Wicker Man.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The bees, not the bees. I mean, like, what's in that sack? Is that a shark?
What's that?
Oh, I say, is that a
like-
shark or something? Every time I see somebody carrying
Oh,
a box
God.
or a bag or anything in film, what's in there? Is it a shark or something?
Yeah.
I mean, that movie's just so damn entertaining. And he punches a lady out.
He punches like 6 ladies out.
I know. And like, the costumes were pretty good. Like, I'm a bear lady.
Oh, fucking, that movie is so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's over the top.
I wanted to do, the problem with my favorite line is that you can't do it because it's so over cagey. Because last night we were at a barbecue and one of the hot dogs got too burnt, and I wanted to be like, "Why's it burned? Why's it burned? Why's it burned? Why's it burned?"
I would have enjoyed that. I thought you were going to say,
And only you would have got it.
yeah, you're right.
And everybody else would have thought I was a crazy asshole.
Just go for it, man.
Yeah.
That's how you own life.
Just to be a crazy asshole.
Cage at all time. He is so supremely cagey in this film.
I think it's one of his better ones.
It's as cagey as it gets.
I am not sure at this point if The Wicker Man is not my favorite Nicolas Cage movie ever filmed.
It's the funniest Nicolas Cage movie ever made.
Even more than
No, Raising Arizona is actually funnier, but this is, number 2, but I don't think it was supposed to be funny.
I don't think it was supposed to be a comedy.
No.
It was the feel-good comedy of the year.
Yeah, I had tears in my eyes. It was so funny.
Non-stop laughing, even when he's burned to death at the end. I'm just going, ha, 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 ha,
And what was his tape again that he had the
Everything is okay.
Yeah, everything is okay tapes. And I know that we made jokes about that for like weeks.
No, I still make jokes about that too. I forgot that's what that's from even.
Uh-huh.
Everything is okay.
Have you seen my Everything is Okay tapes? Oh shit, no. What the fuck.
Oh no, you do have problems.
Yeah.
I think The Wicker Man is going to be the new Dumb and Dumber for me for probably the next 10 years. I will be quoting The Wicker Man at least once a week.
Yeah.
Maybe multiple times a day. Just by that's now just part of my vernacular is quotes from The Wicker Man.
It has that Anchorman. I quoted Anchorman a lot.
Milk was a bad choice, and Not the Bees is essentially synonymous.
Yeah.
Very good choice, Jackie. My number 9 movie, No Holds Barred.
That was in my honorable mention.
Mine too.
I loved No Holds Barred. Another surprise. None of us saw that coming.
No, the unit eyebrow on the black guy.
Tiny Zeus Lister.
Yeah. I mean, that guy was just so weird looking. It was just like, oh my God. What?
Well, Tiny Zeus is a weird looking dude to begin with, but the whole concept of the film
It's a movie made by people that had no business making a movie,
and naming
writing
it.
a movie, and being in a movie. Like everybody involved is a bunch of wrestling guys that are like, we're going to make a better movie than Hollywood.
Right.
They got done with it and they saw it and they're like, we did it.
We have-
cracked the code. And then other people saw it and they're like, are you fucking retarded?
It's Hulk Hogan propaganda. Like,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan is going to change the world, everybody. He
Oh.
is everybody's friend.
He's gonna rip him up.
Charity is going to happen. Rainbows are going to start shooting out of his asshole. It's just, oh my God, what?
Yeah, I had known that No Holds Barred was a terrible film because I do remember when it came out that it was on the same weekend as Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which was like, well, nobody's going to go see No Holds Barred. And so nobody did, but I had no idea that it was so unbelievably awesome.
Because it's unbelievably stupid.
It is unbelievably stupid. The Battles of the Tough
Battle
Guys
of the Tough
is
Guys.
one of the worst named things I've ever heard in all of film. And it really actually, but it's very accurate. It is the Battle of the Tough Guys.
Yeah,
And
it's like Robert Hamburger wrote it, but it isn't. It's a little too like Robert Hamburger is a little too savvy for who wrote that film.
If you don't know who Robert Hamburger is, visit realultimatepower.net and read everything on there, and you will understand the type of writing that goes into No Holds Barred.
And I kind of get the impression that the movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito might have been slightly based off of this because Hulk Hogan is this ultimate wrestler guy and his brother is like some piece of shit that can't defend himself.
I don't remember Hulk Hogan's brother in that movie at all.
I thought his brother was in that movie and like his brother gets killed or gets paralyzed or some shit and then that's why he goes after the guy.
What?
I don't think you saw
I
No
think
Holds
you're-
Barred.
You're not talking about the same movie.
I think that's called Bloodsport, and you still don't have it right.
No!
Yeah.
Dukes.
Yeah.
Okay, USA. Wait.
No Holds Barred is they make a TV show around wrestling.
Yeah, I know, but I thought that Hulk Hogan's brother
No,
was the manager guy.
No, the corporate guys just manipulate Hulk Hogan into doing whatever they want, and then he's had enough. He's gonna rip them up.
Oh.
They
and he
want
had the
him
weird
to,
little hand
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Rip him up.
I guess there was no
It's just like
brother
the-
revenge.
I mean, there was
Hang
might
Ten.
no. Didn't he have a brother or something? Because he went
I
to
don't
his
know.
his brother came to his house or
Yeah, dude, I thought there was
There
a
was a
brother in there.
brother.
The brother
Oh
got
yeah,
beat
maybe
up.
Tiny Zeus Lister.
Yeah,
does
beat up the
something mean,
brother.
But I don't think it was like, I'm gonna fuck you up. I think it was just Tiny Zeus Lister just like being a hurricane of destruction throughout the world. And it just happens to be that Rip, whatever his last name was, his brother got in the way. Something
okay.
like that.
Well, either way, I mean, like, yeah, we could try to figure out what happened in that movie for the next 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than the Battle of the Tough Guys did go down.
What's
Yeah.
that smell? Dookie! Dookie! Great film.
Yes.
Sam, number 9.
My next two are actually, even though, and this is why I feel they're so strongly, even though they are higher up in my all-time, that they even made this list is an achievement in how good they are at bad movies. Number 9 for me is Never Too Young to Die.
Oh, great movie. Absolutely great.
Even though I had
film.
seen it before, it still made the list.
it,
Just because even the second time, its impact is above the other films I watched.
it was a shock to me. Again, I like complete surprise. You had told me, "Oh yeah, it's John Stamos and Vanity in a movie." And John Stamos is an action star, and George Lazenby is in it.
Lazenby.
I was like, this is gonna suck. Oh, and Gene Simmons is a lady boy.
Yeah. Well, I had to underbill it so that you get the same shock and awe that I had the first time I saw it.
I was all in once the gymnastics started, and I was like, "Woo, look at that!"
Oh, as soon as you hear the opening
Stargrove.
couple bars to Stargrove, the
yeah, it
theme
should have
song,
just
you're
been
like,
called Stargrove.
whoa. It is actually called Stargrove in many, many other countries.
Huh.
Yeah. It is also part of the new Stinkernomicon, and in order to print the DVD artwork, I had to use Japan's DVD artwork. and
Excellent.
it is called Stargrove in Japan.
Oh.
And post doing that episode, I have realized that there is a huge following to the Never Too Young to Die that I didn't even know existed.
I am surprised that the Japanese title wasn't Tight Pants Flipping Man Saves the Bridge. Because it goes
be
down
fun
where he
time.
saves the Earth at the end of the movie on a bridge, that they would just sort of like, well, no, he didn't. He just saved the bridge. Which he kind of just saves the bridge in the movie, even. So I'm surprised that wasn't the title.
It is an unbelievable film. We say that we can't believe a lot of these movies got made, but some movies are just accidentally bad, like good concept, and then there's just inept people working on them, or the budget gets pulled, or just on paper from the very get-go, this thing is nanners.
It doesn't, like, well after Jim Cotta failed at bringing gymnastics into the action movie, they are still like, you know what? Let's give it another shot. Gymnastics is totally action-packed, right?
Right.
No.
Yeah, they're athletes. They're strong. They could be action stars. Not saying that gymnastic. I'm not saying that in reality right now, there's not some gymnast that works for the U.S. government and is just killing all the fools.
It might be happening.
But on film,
It doesn't look good.
does not work.
Yeah, it's
ever.
just like one of our problems with Jupiter Ascending. The practicality of the sky skates or whatever they are,
Uh-huh.
it actually would work good like that.
Uh-huh.
It looks super fucking stupid
It
on
looks super
screen.
fucking dumb.
that's-
Gymnastics fighting is
Gymnastics fighting looks super fucking stupid.
Imagine if James Bond was a gymnast. That would have just ruined that whole franchise.
just handsprings throughout it. Well, we saw Beowulf. We saw Beowulf with
Beowulf
Christopher
did-
Lambert,
did
and
a
he's
lot of
doing
flips.
handsprings and flips and shit. And it looked awesome because they never sold it like this gymnastics is gonna work. He just gets punched in the face directly after doing flips and handsprings.
Yes.
And that worked. That worked for me greatly. But, I think at this point, I'm willing to watch any movie that has gymnastics fighting with it.
Oh yeah, it's
I'm
kind of
4
like,
for 4.
yeah, it just sort of, it turns the dial to 6 for you, and all it really has to do is be shitty after that.
Uh-huh.
You're like, well, that worked. That's a top tenner again.
We should not neglect to mention the amazing performance by Gene Simmons.
Yeah, Gene Simmons is pretty amazing. Turds.
Yeah, cheers, lady boy. I got a wiener and some boobies.
Yeah!
Yeah, that's a good choice. I really like Never Too Young to Die as well. Jackie, you're number 9.
Deadly Prey.
Oh,
With Danton.
Ooh, Deadly Prey.
Well, spoiler alert.
It's coming. You will be hearing of this one again.
Yes, from both Sam and I. What are your thoughts on Deadly Prey, Jackie? And why number 9?
9 is kind of low.
Because although I thought it was really awesome, and yes, Danton is the most badass, like vengeful killer guy ever, right? Like he's got it down. But the movie wasn't that entertaining. And as we go along here, I have some different ones that I just thought were more. I was just more in tune with the storyline or the costumes or whatever. So
Yeah, it always comes back
The
to the
costumes. Well, he
with
didn't have
Jackie.
much of a costume.
No.
no, he had like a pair of ripped jean shorts.
Yeah,
on
he
and
was
a
wearing
bullet.
just enough to cover his important pieces.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan. Oh, I love Dan.
Danton.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really explain it, but it's Danton. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch Deadly Prey because it's Danton.
Yeah, it's Dan.
Danton.
It doesn't matter what happens. It's just Dan.
Yeah,
Dan-
he'll kill you.
Yes.
He'll kill your grandma.
Kill
He
your
doesn't
fucking
care.
neighbor. And then he'll have a barbecue with a dead body. He'll like do a weekend at Bernie's for 10 minutes and then get tired of that and then go kill somebody else.
Well, what did you like about Deadly Prey, Jackie?
I just liked how ridiculous it was.
Mm-hmm.
This guy gets nabbed on his way taken out to the trash because obviously he looks like a good target. Like, who the hell's going to pick up Mr. Buff Guy?
Yeah.
The kill zone guy at the training camp. Like, you're at a training camp. I don't know if you should be getting somebody off the street that looks that advanced.
If Always Sunny in Philadelphia has taught me anything, I know it's never hunt a man.
Never hunt a man.
If Deadly Prey has taught me anything, it's never hunt Danton.
Do not even,
Stay away from the guy that looks like Danton.
if you live down the street from Danton, move.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a fun block party.
No. If you eat the last hot dog,
He'll
will
kill you.
karate chop you.
He
in
will
the
kill
throat.
you with the hot dog. You
You'll
just
pull
ate.
it out of your stomach.
He will punch a hole in your tummy, grab the hot dog, and shove it through your brain.
Yeah. And then he'll put it on a bun and start to eat it and go, you know what? I wasn't even hungry.
And toss it in the
And
trash.
then just wander off. And kill somebody else for doing something, like looking at him the wrong fucking way.
Eating the last of the Doritos.
Yeah.
Oh, Deadly Prey. What a find.
So where's your 8?
My number 8 movie is another non-episode. Dead Heat.
Oh, Dead Heat is awesome.
It is still on
That is also on my list.
Netflix. The Zombie Cop.
I do not have it on my list because I watched it 2 years ago.
Yeah, you did not watch Dead Heat this year, but I did. It was a wonderful find with Joe Piscopo and Treat Williams.
Treat Williams is the most adequately named actor ever.
He was a treat in this
He
film.
is always a treat.
These guys are the two biggest 80s cop nutsacks, cheeseball, high-fiving bro downs at the beginning of the movie. And then spoiler alert, it's about zombie cops. They become zombie cops, and holy shit, does it know, this film knows exactly what it's doing
It was
from then
one of
point
the
on.
most, and I think that even the beginning where they're these nutsacks, that's part of how fucking self-aware this movie, it knows exactly what it's doing.
Yes, it does.
And the reanimation of the Chinese restaurant food
Uh-huh.
was so awesome. Like that cow and what was it, ducks or chickens or
Yeah.
whatever those things were. It was like,
The visual effects are great.
yeah.
The concept, the execution of the concept is great. My probably my favorite part of this movie is Treat Williams has to come in hot on a motorcycle to invade a building that's filled with gunmen. And so instead of like parking the motorcycle and shooting his way through the front door and shooting the guys, he never slows down, runs the motorcycle into something, and then launches his reanimated corpse through the front door and starts shooting everybody. Because you know what? You're a zombie cop.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
I don't need to walk up there. I'm coming in hot. And just,
Right.
it knows what it's doing from start to end. And it's great.
I was so amazed the first time that I saw it because it was like the movie that you would want to make, like, oh, let's do this. And you'd never be able to get that they actually got it made and did it. And it is what it is just sort of amazing to me
Yeah.
that it even happened.
Yeah. It's a kick in the pants. Great time. Highly recommended. Sam?
The next was another movie, even though it's higher this is actually in my top 3 bad movies of all time, but I'm just thinking of the impact this year. And again, it's so good that it made a list, even though I've seen it 5 times. Malibu Express.
Yeah, sure. Sure, absolutely.
I was giving you the music. there,
No,
Justin,
that's
so
actually
you could
pretty
reminisce.
good.
That's exactly
that's
right.
pretty good.
About
I
it.
feel it now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the Malibu Express is a pleasant trip every time. I think the reason I didn't put it on my list is just because
You've seen it so many times.
I've seen it so many times, and it seems like everything that's on my list was a major surprise. Like, wow, I did not see that coming. So that's where I'm at, but I cannot argue with you that Malibu Express was, again, a fantastic time to view.
That's why it made it. It has such impact every time that it made it up to number 8, and I'd seen it a bunch of times, and it still made 8. It's that good.
Yeah, that was on my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to argue. I can't wait till we can dive into some more Andy Sedaris films. We'll have to, of course, get Arlene Sedaris
Yes.
is Widow back involved. But Hard Ticket to Hawaii, I believe, will probably be one of my future picks.
I think at some
maybe in
point
the next
Picasso
month.
Trigger probably needs to happen too.
Oh, I think we'll run the gambit on quite a few of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that really, really, really love these. There's a lot of people that really, really, really still do not even know that they exist.
The awareness of these films is too low.
It is far too low. Many of them, many top 10 bad movies of all time that I've seen are missing any of these. And it's a tragedy because it's has to be that you just haven't seen these films. The 12 films that Andy Sedaris put together, minus the first one that they never own the rights to, that we can never remember the name of. Seven, yeah.
With William Smith in the starring role. I really want to find a copy of Seven
I would
somehow.
like to get my hands on Seven as well, but apparently it's never going to happen. It's one of those impossible films
Yes.
that's never going to see the light of day again, unfortunately. But yeah, Malibu Express is a good choice.
Number 8,
Number 8 from Jagge.
The Vineyard.
Ooh.
The Vineyard was honorable mention for me too.
Man.
I fucking loved The Vineyard, and the reason that I really loved The Vineyard most is because it was like James Hong turned the camera on, turned the sexual harassment off. It was almost like he made a movie just so he could grope a bunch of women.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
He was just molestering every woman every woman in that movie. He got a handful.
I
Oh, yeah.
Every single one of them.
It was a 1-to-1 booby ratio. Okay. 1-to-1.
What?
Well,
Does that even-
I got one hand. You got two boobies. I'm going to give it a 1-to-1.
That's some good math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I can't believe you guys never heard that.
I-
The 1-to-1 booby ratio.
Yeah, no, I've no,
Because
no.
I just didn't make it up. I promise. It's a thing.
Okay.
I just thought it was goofy and it was fun, and
The makeup was great.
yeah.
The makeup was great.
And the story was entertaining, and
It is a very we saw this on Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah.
It might still be on Netflix. I'm not really
I
sure.
think
if
it
that got
is.
pulled.
I think that eventually, sometime this coming year, I'm going to pull the trigger on this one and make it an episode for us. 'cause
Yeah,
it was
it's-
just such a great movie.
It's it's episode worthy.
Yeah, it was also a fun surprise. I think you picked that just by the cover.
I'd seen it before, and
Oh,
you
you
guys
had.
hadn't seen it, and I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
let's
She had
watch
seen it
this. You
before.
guys will like this." And you go, "This is going to be dumb."
I mean, when I saw that James Hong directed it, I was like, oh wait, I'm in. And
Yeah.
then, yep.
And I had no idea who James Hong was just by name. His face is like one of the most
Everywhere.
recognizable faces ever. And like, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then we started digging deeper and deeper into the library of what he's directed. And it's what it was like 90 films or something like that.
No, he's directed, I think, like 11 or something.
I thought it was a
He's
shit
been in
load
like
more
230 or something.
But they
like
all look very similar as far as the level of
that. Him
quality.
grabbing boobs.
Yeah, him grabbing boobs. The movie.
He just
again.
loves them, which, I do too.
Hey, whatever, buddy.
I applaud him. I would like to go to there.
Yeah.
I would like to make
sure you
movies
do.
that really are just kind of fun to watch, but are mostly about me sampling the tits.
Sexually assaulting women.
Sexually assaulting. That's what the reality is. In my mind, I'm just sampling. I'm just I'm gathering a bunch of women, and then I'm going to sample their boobs, and I'm going to make a decision afterwards which ones I liked the best, and then I made a movie while I was doing that.
Oh, and then the casting session is over. Now it's time to actually sample the boobs on camera.
Yeah, on camera. Now I can really now we're past the test drive phase. It's like you've bought the cars. Now you're really going to take them out on the road.
I am led to believe that that's how every casting session goes in Hollywood. just dirty, filthy, bad, terrible people.
Terrible.
Like, all right. Like, this, okay. I have a question.
Sure.
If you've got a character, a female character that you've written into a film, in a booby movie, let's say, it's a booby movie that this character exists in,
Yes.
and you've put out a casting call for a naked lady. At the casting, on the casting couch, do they say, all right, let's check them out.
Yeah,
We're going to need to see them.
I think they have to.
Yeah, if you're casting tits, you have to see the tits.
Yeah, because wonder if you're like, oh, you got a pretty nice body, and then they take off their top and they've got one boob that's like a double D and one boob that's like an A.
Or, one's headed north and the other one's like east. What? What
No.
happened?
Now that I think that's blatantly obvious if you're casting strippers
Or if
and
they've got
say-
zit butt.
say a major booby movie, but what if it's something like Kirsten Dunst in Melancholia?
I don't know about that.
And she's never been nude on film before and had plenty of chances at it. And you as the director go, well, what's going on down there? Is it weird or
I
something?
think that, something like that might be like a surprise. Like day of, you find out what you're getting with Kirsten
yeah,
Dunst.
man, that's
Yeah.
rolling the dice.
When you become a more famous actress or actor, you don't have to show the goods until they're like, well, we'll give you $20 million if you show
Yeah,
your...
but what if they're weird looking?
Well,
Hey,
yeah,
dude.
but at that point, you're actually not even going for like hotness. What you're doing is vulnerability of character. That's the only way that you can really say that you're using nudity without just showing people boobs. It's the vulnerability of the character. So if you've never seen her naked and she's never been naked, as an actor, she now doesn't have to try too hard because she's vulnerable. She's taking her clothes off in a room full of dudes for the first time.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it works.
on camera.
A room full of dudes.
Yeah, well, college, who's to say?
Who's to say?
All right. Yeah, Vineyard is a great choice, Jackie. I think that's a surprise pick. I like it. My number, where are we at?
7.
7. My number 7. Jackie missed this one. Sam will remember it affectionately. Ninja 3, The Domination.
Ninja 3, The Domination is a little higher on my list.
Oh, yeah. Ninja 3, The Domination was another surprise.
Surprise.
Because you have seen Ninja 1 and Ninja 2.
Karate Chop!
And you just missed out on Ninja 3. I don't know what the hell you were doing that day, but...
I don't know either. We went over to
Whoa.
Jeff's house to watch that, though.
I think I was out of
Bullshit.
town.
The movie.
It's so odd that was like, to begin with, Ninja 1 and 2 are almost non-related in terms of the story.
But they're still fairly straight-edge ninja movies.
They are. And Ninja 3 is basically unrelated, so they're not even really... Thematically, they're a perfect trilogy because it's just sort of ninja bullshit, and Sho Kosugi is the uniting factor of all of it, but wow, did they crank the dial on 3.
Oh my god, it is. I think, since you're probably going to talk about it a little later, I want to say my favorite part of Ninja 3, and I think it's a very understated favorite part because there's so many favorite parts in this
It's just
film.
amazing.
The ape man that is the love interest
That thing...
is a walking Chewbacca. He is the hairiest, grossest guy I've ever seen on camera. And it is like that scene in, what's that film with Ben Stiller where he has to play basketball against the gross, hairy, sweaty guy and he gets his face rubbed up against his
Is that
belly?
the cable guy?
No, that's not with Ben Stiller. Maybe it's Along Came Polly. One of those films.
Oh,
but
I haven't seen that.
that poor woman who is the ninja, spoiler alert, the magic ninja,
Possessed.
she has to have multiple love scenes with this rug. Yeah. And she has to get her face. And the weird thing is I'm not even sure if she had to get her face into this, but there's kissing, and then all of a sudden she starts headed downstairs, not like downstairs, but into places where humans should not go, like his armpits and his back. And she has just got to be pulling chunks of hair out of her teeth because Chewbacca had jack shit on this guy.
Yeah, so I think where she's trying to, like, what she thinks as a character and maybe as an actress trying to do a love scene is that I'm going to go find a part of this guy that's not covered in hair, and there isn't one.
And fail.
She's looking, and there's none to be found.
He is a monkey man. The first time he takes off his shirt, like you can see, because he's like one of those 80s mulleted dudes, like, oh, I'm the cool cop, and he's wearing tank tops and stuff, and it's like, man, that guy's got some really freaking hairy shoulders.
Yes.
And then he does the slow motion shirt taking off where you pull your shirt from the bottom up over your head, all sexy time, and it's like, whoa, how did you leave this shot in this film? Unless you were like, look at this guy. This guy showed up. This is what we got.
I totally need to go look this up now.
Oh,
I'm so
Ninja
excited.
Ninja 3 is fucking
Ninja 3
incredible.
is stop what you're doing right now and
Go watch
Ninja
it.
3.
I think Furstenberg directed that.
Yeah, it's great. Absolute surprised because it's just not like Ninja 1 and Ninja 2.
No, it's nothing like, and it's like, it went crazy. Like,
It
they
went
just dialed it up.
crazy.
They're like, oh, there's going to be a ninja possession now.
And it's got that element of why I love it why I love Teen Witch the same kind of way. It's just 80s suck. Not trying to be like, oh, see how cool the 80s were? It's like, no, this is why the 80s sucked, is because there's neon and lasers and just bullshit all over the place that has nothing to do with anything.
The ninja possession with the laser light smoke show in her fucking apartment. I forgot about
See,
that
that's
until
all you
just
have to
now.
say to convince people to like this movie is, wait, ninja possession laser
She
light
gets
show?
possessed by a ninja in her apartment. Her apartment's really fucking stupid. Like, every part of the movie, like, you can't, there's no shot in this film where you don't go, what the fuck is going on with this?
Yeah,
like, you
exactly.
first go to her apartment,
It's-
like, wait a second, somebody lives in this? What the
It's-
fuck is going on with this apartment?
It's Bizarro The Shining. Like, every shot has meaning and purpose, but it's completely like, what?
What is going on
What is
here?
going on?
And then all of a sudden, like, it doesn't, none of it ever makes any sense. Like, you kind of are able to string the events together.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, there's the ninja that dies, and then, like, she's in her apartment, and it's like, oh, hey, I saw Pink Floyd's Laser Light show on drugs a couple years ago. I think I'm going to recreate it in this scene
Because
with
it
a
seems
big
to fit
fan.
with the ninja demon
Yeah,
possession.
it seems like that if a ninja was going to possess some chick in a weird apartment, that it would be a laser light show. What?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I need to get a copy of that movie. That needs to be owned.
Yeah, that's one of those that, like, just, it's on Blu-ray, so just get the Blu-ray.
Yeah, exactly. Sam, you're number 7.
Hell Squad.
Oh yes, Hell Squad.
Hell Squad is my number 7. I'd never seen Hell Squad until this year, and I wasn't super impressed with Hell Squad at first, but, like, it really just kind of kept building momentum, and it had me all the way locked in when she has the phone call and she's like, we've been killing all these people and I'm pretty sure none of them are terrorists. And you're like, okay, so they don't know what's going on in the movie either, because I got no idea what's going on in this movie, and the people in it are now, what the fuck is going on here, man, on the phone to someone else in the movie.
It's seriously like the script was written while they were filming it, because they just get to a point where it's like, we don't know what the hell we're doing right here.
Bathtub scene.
Yeah, let's just go back to the bathtub.
Kept going back to the fucking bathtub.
Everybody back in the bathtub.
Oh.
Okay, now get in the Jeep with your cute little outfits on.
Yeah, today we're gonna drive around in a circle, and then when we don't find anybody to shoot, we'll just go back to the bathtub.
I think that there was they had the one, like, the third time out or whatever, you see him leave. I was, as a viewer, just assuming that they had gone and killed a bunch of people that probably weren't terrorists.
Right, sure. Guys
And
playing
then they
cards.
just came back and got in the tub, and it was like, that's the routine of the film now. We can't really be bothered with showing you this action again. Just assume that they've gone and killed some more of the wrong people.
Oh boy, it's a wonder we're in the situation we're in as America. I think we've dug our own hole, and I think that hole was Hell Squad.
Well, when they're
Middle East hates us for a reason.
That's right, because when we're sending over these ladies for a dance show that can't keep it together, they don't dance together, but they're all professional dancers before they became part of Hell Squad.
Right.
It's like, what the hell happened? Like that? Okay,
Yeah.
Like, nobody believes your cover now, ladies. Nobody.
Kinda, because I guess they realized how much money they were making. That was another part that I couldn't get over, was when they do their little dance sequence and people start throwing out the silver dollars or whatever, they are just getting after it. They're just grabbing those things like, we need this fucking money. This is not going well as a career move. Like, being dancing commandos does not fucking pay the bills. Like,
Hell Squad's name is very fierce. Hell Squad in reality,
No.
not very not very hellish.
No.
Unless you're a Middle Eastern man playing cards, then you're probably going to get shot by Hell Squad.
there's just no camping in the Middle East, because Hell Squad will just roll in and kill you. These people could have just been camping.
we can't fail to mention the Duel of the Boom Mics.
Oh yeah, at the very end.
They just, the whole thing, like, it was, you can tell that they filmed it linearly, because the production falls apart. You watch the production fall apart as the movie plays itself out.
It's like the boom mic operator's arms were just getting tired.
Yeah. Well, it starts off with the camera shadow in the one shot that, like, is this the only shot we got? And then they go, we only got one shot for everything. Yeah. Of course this is the only shot we got.
This is one take of the movie.
Did you see yourself in that shot? I did. And we couldn't do anything else? We could not. This is what we have.
I was on the edge of an airplane wing, in my defense. Who told me to stand there? I did. Yeah, Hell Squad was a good time. It was a very fine choice by our good friend Carl as
Carl.
part one of the action or in action
Yes.
trilogy, which we have not completed yet. Shall be
Very soon we will be completing the In Action trilogy with Megaforce.
with Megaforce. Plugging our future episodes again.
Yes.
Jackie, you're number 7.
Soul Taker.
Oh,
Soul Taker.
Taker.
Yes, where those kids die in the car accident, and then they get away, and one of the
I didn't see this.
No, you did not. And she's cheating. She saw this via Mystery Science Theater 3000.
no, I'd seen this before,
Oh.
and they're like chasing him down, trying to get him to go back to death. And
Uh-huh. Sure. Absolutely.
oh my god,
With,
it's just like, I don't know. Like,
Joe Estevez.
yeah, the Estevez. That's what I was trying to remember. It's like, oh god, it's one of those brothers, but it's not the famous brother. It's like
Well,
the
It's
Joe.
other
the
guy.
only one we'll mention in this podcast.
No, we will mention.
We'll mention a Sheen.
Yes.
I don't know if we'll mention an Estevez.
Old Carlos will show up.
Yeah.
Joe is actually Martin's brother.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked this movie. It was
Martine.
yes. I don't know. I just liked it. I thought it was funny.
Soul Taker is a good time. It's
And
ridiculous.
It tries really hard to take itself seriously.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
it's just not. You just can't. I mean, like
It's a
he's
failed-
walking around. Estevez is walking around in a trench coat, walking to get these kids. It's like they're running away. There's no way you're going to
Oh,
make
that's
up that
Joe
distance.
Estevez in a nutshell.
But
Yeah.
he's like, "Yep, can't be running too fast. My hair will get all fucked up."
You know, here's the thing about Joe Estevez is he is the polar opposite, the exact same man, but the polar opposite to Eric Roberts.
Yes.
Eric Roberts tries to dial it to 11 at every possible point and sucks.
Eric Roberts is the most uncoordinated human alive.
Joe Estevez rivals him for the most uncoordinated man ever, but Joe Estevez level is usually about a 2
Yeah.
and sucks is equally.
He doesn't go crazy like where like Eric Roberts does his action thing and then like the shot's over and he's like getting ready to do it again and you're like, no, I know that you're going to do it just like that or worse. So that's what we're going to use.
Yep.
You're like, you just slap your head as a director and be like, oh God, we got this guy for an action movie.
And Joe Estevez is essentially the same man, just
Just in half speed.
Opposite, yeah, a slow motion Eric Roberts.
Hey, he has some squinty eye, evil eye
Oh,
business.
he's got the Estevez look for sure.
Yeah.
If you didn't know who they were, is this guy related to Charlie Sheen? Yes. And I love Joe Estevez. Anytime I can get Joe Estevez, he. If I was to see, if I was to make my shitty Expendables ever, produce my screenplay for the shitty Expendables, I would put Joe Estevez. Eric Roberts, obviously, Jeff Fahey, and Jerry Remar, James
What is-
Remar.
Eric Roberts is actually in the first Expendables.
It's true, he is.
Yeah. He made the A list and the B list.
You know what?
He's at the top of the B list, but he's at the
he
bottom
gets
of
mine.
the A list.
But Joe Estevez would definitely be in that. And Soul Taker is a fine choice, Jackie.
Thank you.
Yeah,
What did you got for 6 there, Justino?
My number 6 film, getting into the heavy stuff. Another one of Jackie's choices, The Beastmaster.
Oh, that's on my list too.
higher up on my list.
Yep.
The Beastmaster I had already seen. It was maybe the 4th or 5th movie I decided to view when I was like, you know what? I'm 21 years old and I like bad movies.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to pretend that I'm some sort of intellectual. I like movies where there's guys with swords and lady shirts getting torn off and men fighting tigers. So I just want to watch movies like that. And so The Beastmaster was maybe my 4th film that I ever viewed like that. And it has stuck with me consistently since then. I love The Beastmaster. It is everything that a shitty movie should be.
It is. It's a high speed.
It's high speed. It's a terrible production. It's a rich history of terrible production.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fascinating story filmmaking wise.
I'm saving all my comments until
The acting is terrible.
later.
The story is stupid. The effects are awful.
Not all of them. That lazy ass eagle was, he was awesome.
But it is a great, great time from start to finish. At no point are you ever like, okay, Beastmaster, get back to what you were doing earlier. There's never
There's no lag.
There's no lag. It is just nonstop stupid business that you're just into the whole time.
Yeah, and just like one of Sam's earlier picks, the dog gets it in the first, the white dog gets it in the first,
But
15
it's done
minutes.
in such a shitty way that you don't feel any oh no, the dog died. You're laughing at the dog died because the dog is not dead.
No.
The dog is not, the acting dog is not even really that drunk.
I feel no. That dog was they dumped about 4 buckets of Quaaludes in that dog.
Yeah, that
I
dog
felt
was
bad. I wanted.
Maybe the dog did die. He
Yeah,
OD'd
I
on Quaaludes.
needed to I was looking for PETA's phone number during that
Oh,
scene.
that is Looking for PETA's Phone Number, the movie.
Yeah, I was like, we need to get somebody on this because these people did bad things.
Bad things. So many ferrets died in the making of that film.
I hadn't watched it since I was 7 or something. And I remember when I was 7, I thought it was a good movie.
Right.
And so I hadn't ever had that revisit of it until then. And that was my revisit of the Beastmaster. So the 2 things I remember is that I thought it was action packed and that my mom had all sorts of, hot, steamy visions of Mark Singer.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was watching it again going, holy shit, this is bullshit at 1,000 miles an hour. How did I shouldn't have thought this was good when I was 7.
It's one of those rare films that you can see at any age.
Yeah.
It's ageless and you can enjoy it. If I was a dribbling old man in a hospital on my deathbed and Beastmaster came on, I'd be like, you know what? I went out on top. I
Got to see Beastmaster.
I got
again.
to see Beastmaster. I would watch it at any age. If I was 5 years old, it would have been my favorite film. It's one of those rare things that usually when you see a movie like this and you love it when you're a child, you watch it again later and you're like, oh God, this sucks. But Beastmaster is not that film. It is just great at any age.
Yeah.
And it's also male and female, obviously. Anybody can love Beastmaster.
Yep. So, Sam, what'd you got for 6?
I have another perennial favorite, very high up the list, Death Race 2000.
Ooh, Frankenstein car.
Yes,
good
Death
choice.
Race, because I hadn't, and again, it comes with the impact. How did it make it above 2 movies that I have higher on my top 10? I hadn't seen Death Race in about 8-9 years.
Sure.
And goddamn, I love that movie. I just fucking love that movie.
It's very endearing.
I love the cars.
And the boobs.
Yeah, the cars and the wacky costumes that everybody's got to match their cars.
If anybody makes a Roger Corman list, my favorite Roger Corman movies, and Death Race 2000 isn't in the top 3, you don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on.
Death Race 2000 is an achievement in bad filmmaking. It is, again, very similar to the Beastmaster in it is fun from start to finish.
Yeah.
If you can love it at any point in life, you're probably not going to see it as a child because it is chock full of nudity.
There's a lot of boobs.
Yes, but you see the monster for the first time, Frankenstein's car, and even if it's just even if you just see a still image of that car without watching the movie, you go, I want to watch that movie. That shit looks awesome. Good choice.
Yeah, it's also Carradine kind of at his finest.
Yeah,
And his finest isn't good.
Right.
It's the Carradine doing his worst Charlton Heston.
Oh, that's a great
Because the way he
comparison.
postures himself in
Yeah.
that, he swings his body around like he's Charlton Heston. And it's
Uh-huh.
like, when I watch that one, he does that in a lot of movies. He does different things. I think that guy did too many drugs. Actually, I think that it was been proven
Or that other thing.
Yeah, well, I think that in the history we'll remember that guy did too many drugs. Because if you go through like his series where he did like Death Sport,
Death Sport
Remember,
was
like, his
right
phys-
after
like-
Death Race 2000.
but he's not doing the Heston thing in that. He's
No.
got like this sort of like I'm an animal man.
Uh-huh.
The way he moves his body, but there's a couple of movies up to Death Race that he's swinging his arms and his hips around like he's Heston. And this is I think the chief of that. And when you watch it, every time I'm like, you, sir, are not Charlton Heston. Stop doing that.
Don't forget we cannot fail to mention Machine Gun Joe Viterbo.
Yeah. Stallone.
What is this movie? 1977. It's pre-Rocky, and it is just you see Sylvester Stallone and you say, "Thank you for starting your career the same way you just continually to run your career.
Yeah.
This is your job. You do it well. Thank you, Sylvester Stallone."
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that movie.
My turn.
Yeah,
Which is going to be kind of a disappointment for talking wise.
Oh.
Because my number 6 was Dead Heat. Which we already talked about all my favorite things, which was,
yes.
the the reanimated cow corpse and stuff like that. I mean, we already talked about it, so I guess we'll just move on to Justin's 5. But Dead Heat, I thought
Dead Heat's amazing. I
was
just
higher on
fucking
my
love
list
that
because
movie.
I loved it.
I really like that you liked it that much, because you typically hate anything zombie. Like, you are one of there's so many zombie movies that pre the trendy zombie garbage that's going on right now. There's so many fun stuff that involves zombies, like Dead Alive, which I am going to force you to watch. 1978's Dawn of the Dead.
But these zombies weren't
Brain
scary.
Damage. No, they're not scary. They're zombie
Because
cops.
he goes to the Rite Aid or whatever, the drugstore, Boots, to get makeup so that he looks good while they're driving around in the convertible.
Right. I'm just saying that putting Dead Heat where you put it is a testament.
Yeah,
to
number
how
6.
Awesome
I thought it was
And-
just hilarious. I laughed so hard when we watched that movie.
Yeah.
It would be in the movies that I've seen more than once that made this list. It would have been the 4th of those had I watched it this year. I did not watch it this year.
Yes.
So let's just move on.
There you go.
Because we talked about this one. We beat a dead horse, but
Oh.
yeah.
So my number 5 film isn't much of a surprise, or it's probably my weakest surprise film because everybody loves this movie. It was Machete.
Oh, Machete didn't even make my list.
Oh, it didn't make my list either.
Yeah.
Not even an honorable mention.
I really, really had a good time with Machete.
The first Machete is really, really fun.
It's everything. It's everything that they tried to do. They did really, really well for the sake of bad, shitty, stupid movies. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I think it's a damn travesty that we don't have a third one of those.
Wait, who knows? I mean, Sin City just got, like, he finished
I
that
know,
2 weeks
I
before
know.
it hits the screen, so.
I know, but either way, yeah. Anytime Danny Trejo's on film, I usually am on board. But Machete is just such a good time, and I can't imagine that there's very many people that haven't seen it at this point, especially listeners of this podcast. But if you haven't, you should probably have seen Machete.
Yeah, Machete's really good. My thing with Machete is that it gives you so much, and it gives you something that you wouldn't expect. It gives you De Niro not laying on the screen like a fucking fish.
Yes.
For the first time in like 10
Yes,
years or something like that.
indeed.
It was like he was having a good time in it. You could tell. It was like, wow, De
It's-
Niro still does stuff.
It's also Robert Rodriguez not pissing in your eyeballs.
Not pissing in my eyeballs.
Not trying to make any special message or look at how neat this is.
Styling the piss out of a movie.
Styling the piss out of a movie. It's just, you know what? Let's make a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It is a good time. Good times.
Good times.
Good times. What's your number 5, Sam?
My number 5 is The Man from Hong Kong.
Oh.
Little low as I'm looking. I mean, it's
Jimmy
not a
Wang
little
Yu.
low. There's one that I put up really high here because I forgot how much I liked it, but being number 5 is just not enough praise for a movie that I couldn't get it any higher, but I want
I understand.
to.
I understand.
I loved the shit out of that movie.
Yep.
The restaurant fight scene that took like 15 minutes.
One of the best
is
that's ever been shot.
One of the best that's ever been shot. Jimmy Wang Yu doing everything.
Driving,
Yeah, it's
jumping.
the closest
climbing.
thing to what we haven't done Sister Street Fighter, but Sonny Chiba has a I'm a man that can do everything character in Sister Street Fighter. You get that with Jimmy Wang Yu and The Man from Hong Kong, and it's just fucking awesome.
Don't forget about George Lazenby again.
Lazenby. The reason that I picked this movie,
Yeah.
because I've been trying to find those Golden Harvest Lazenby movies, and I found that one, and wooey.
Oh, Golden Harvest. You just never can go wrong. Like
Raymond Chow does it up nice.
the Man from Hong Kong on your part was a bit of rolling the dice, and it was a wonderful choice.
I could tell. I watched 3 minutes, and I knew from the first 3 minutes of that movie that it was gonna work.
It's not a widely talked about karate movie.
It isn't, and I think that's another interesting thing that was mentioned on the podcast, that because that was early on in the what do they call Ozploitation or whatever, but the sort of fledgling era of Australian film, that was a big deal for them. Their country selected that
Yes.
for preservation. It's in their library of whatever.
We even, in fact, heard from one of our listeners that said that he saw that movie in the theater when it came out because it was just, you couldn't avoid it.
It was
Like,
everywhere?
It was everywhere. It was like maybe not like a Transformer type of marketing, but maybe like a Amazing Spider-Man level of marketing. It's just everywhere. So yeah, no, that's a really good choice, Jackie. Your thoughts on Man from Hong Kong?
I don't remember it,
Oh,
Oh.
so I can't comment.
all right. Well, then you're fired from talking about that.
I know. I can't even comment. Yeah, it sounds like a movie we watched.
Yeah, it is. Our good friend Roman watched it with us.
Yeah, Roman guessed it on that episode.
Yeah,
Oh, wait. Then I remember. Yes, very good movie.
yeah.
Karate Chop. I'll give it a karate,
chop. One karate chop.
One karate chop.
That's all you need. Jackie, your number 5 movie.
Okay, don't laugh at me now.
Uh-oh. It better not be Xanadu.
No. It's The Winter's Tale. Oh, the sweet unicorn.
I'm not going to laugh at you. I'm
and-
going to laugh at Russell Crowe.
Oh my god, that movie just had so much. I loved the unicorn that just kept taking off like
The Pegasus.
the Pegasus, like, oh, trouble, fuck you. And he just
I'm out.
fly off.
Yeah.
I'm out.
And, like, just the ridiculousness of the love story and,
And how awful the performances were.
oh yeah. And Russell Crowe's like weird animated face thing that they kept giving him where he would turn into the devil and his face would crack. And Will Smith being the devil
God.
who lives in the sewer, like,
Lives in the
Oh,
dumps.
Will Smith, bad cameo.
Like, why-
All-time bad
the worst
cameos.
cameo I've ever seen.
why is he in the sewer? It's like, oh my God.
I guess he's bad.
Apparently, either that or he's just like, I
It
just
seems
love
like
the smell
being
of.
the Lord of Evil isn't a high-paying gig.
Oh,
No,
it's
you
the-
get a bare light bulb and a shitty couch.
Yeah.
And then,
terrible.
but everything to do with Will Smith in that movie was awful. Like, because there was the gross face that what's his face makes.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. He makes his gross face to scare people.
Right.
But then at one point, Will Smith's like, my gross face is grosser and scarier. And you're like, what the fuck, man? This is ridiculous.
Stand underneath that light bulb, please, so
is.
that I can show you my even scarier face.
I knew what we were getting involved with. I mean, I knew that Winter's Tale was a widely panned movie, but I thought it was panned because it was just going to be so
Shitty
dripping with cheese
schlock.
that I wasn't going to enjoy it. But as soon as Colin Farrell's parents were like, well, I guess we can't go to America together. I know. We'll put our infant child inside of a model ship and put him into the New York harbor and everything is going to turn out okay. I was like, oh boy, this thing is going to be dope.
Yeah, just a little like Noah's Ark type of thing there.
Yeah, well, no.
Precursor.
Yeah, not, I don't know about that. I think
One baby arc.
The
so
one baby Ark.
apparently the thing about Winter's Tale is it's not that shitty of a movie. It's apparently the shittiest book that's ever been written. Because
That was based on a book?
yes,
Yeah.
it is
God.
apparently a perfect adaptation of a really, really terrible book. Everything that is impossibly stupid in Winter's Tale, the movie, just comes straight out of the book.
Off the page.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the unicorn that just fucks off every time there's
Yeah.
any trouble. Unicorn's like, oh, Bale, you're on your own. And he just runs off like, thanks, unicorn,
Thanks,
you dick.
the most powerful and wonderful creature ever. And he's a dog, don't forget. He's not a horse, he's a dog.
Dog horse.
Dog horse.
Yeah, I mean, I just loved this movie.
I think
It was
number
very
5
magical.
for Winter's Tale is not a bad pick.
Not a bad pick at all.
I loved Winter's Tale. So thus concludes part 1 of our year in review. We will follow this up with our 5 through 1, probably on our very next episode. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for listening and get to the chopper.
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening and get to the chopper.